Hello everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about the elasticity of demand. Okay, now what is elasticity of demand? Elasticity of demand is the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. Okay, now this is not only the formula but also the actual definition of the elasticity of demand. If you are saying, if you have seen in the book, you'll find the definition of this elasticity of demand. Kindly go through, learn and try to read and learn this definition. Now let's move on to how the next, the degree of price elasticity of demand. So there are basically five elasticities. Now let us see what are the five elasticity. There are, first two is given here. This is the degree of price elasticity of demand. The first is the perfectly elastic and the second one here is the perfectly inelastic demand. Now basically the perfectly elastic demand is about infinity. Okay, the perfectly elastic demand is about infinity, and this type of demand takes place in a very rare condition. It's not very possible to have this kind of demand in the market. What happens here is unlimited quantities of commodities or products can be sold at whatever the price is, or whatever the prevailing price. Okay, so the unlimited quantities of goods or the commodities can be sold at the prevailing price, and this is a horizontal demand curve. And basically a negligible increase in price would result in zero quantity demanded. That means basically the infinity, so there is infinity, and so unlimited quantities can be produced. Okay, just because a negligible increase in the price would result in zero quantity demanded, that means there is infinity, and so unlimited quantities can be produced. Okay, so as a result, you can see in the diagram OP. Okay, OP is a price there and no change in the price, but there is a change in the quantity demanded, that is OQ1 and OQ2, and this will keep on moving. So there is no change in the price, but there is a change in the quantity demanded. So here is the elasticity of demand is equal to infinity. Next is the perfectly inelastic demand. Now what is it? You can see in the diagram that the quantity is OQ1, but the price is increasing and decreasing. Okay, the quantity demanded OQ1, but the price is increasing and decreasing. Okay, so this means that what happens is that this is the case of the necessity goods. It happens in the case of necessity goods. Now what happens here is that no matter what the price will be, whether it will be increasing or decreasing, the quantity you are demanding remains the same. You can see here the quantity you are demanding remains the same. There will be no change in the quantity demanded, whether the price increases or decreases. Okay, and basically here this is such goods are termed as neutral, and this has the vertical demand curve. Okay, now next there is the three degree of price elasticities, that is the highly elastic demand, unitary demand, elastic demand, and relatively inelastic demand. Okay, now if we talk about the highly elastic demand, basically here the elasticity of demand is greater than 1. That means that these are about the luxury goods. This is greater than 1, and we are talking about here the luxury goods. Okay, so what happens here is that the change in the quantity demanded is more than the change in the price. The change in the quantity demanded is more the change in the price, and in the but the quantity demanded will be more. That means from the price OP1 to OP2, okay, OP1 to OP2, the price is fallen, but the change, you can see that the quantity demanded increases. There is a high percentage of change in the quantity demanded. Okay, there is a high percentage of change in the quantity demanded. This happens in the case of the luxury goods. Okay, so the proportionate change in the quantity demanded is more than the given change in the price. Okay, next we have unitary elastic demand. Now what is it? Here there is equal proportionate of change in the price. Okay, equal proportionate to change in the price and the quantity demanded. Okay, fine. So you can see here in the diagram also, there is an equal proportionate change in the price also and that of the quantity demanded also. Next we have the relatively inelastic demand. Now here what happens that the change in the price is greater, the change in the price is greater than the quantity demanded, and this takes place in the case of the necessity goods. Okay, the change in the price is more than the change in the quantity demanded. You can definitely see that the gapping in the price and the quantity, the difference can be seen in the diagram also. See the gapping here, you can see here the difference can be seen through this the gap in the price, and the less there is more gap in the price and less gap in the quantity demanded. Why? Because this in relatively inelastic demand, what happened is that the change in quantity demanded is less than the proportionate change in the price. That means elasticity of demand is less than 1. Okay, elasticity of demand is less than 1. This happens in the case of the necessity goods. Okay, now next we move on to the income elasticity of demand. So here we have the positive income elasticity, the negative income elasticity, and the zero income elasticity. Now what is positive income elasticity? Now here the quantity demanded increases with increase in income and decreases with decrease with income. If my income increases or increasing, I am starting to demand more. Okay, so if my income is increasing, my demand will also increase, and if my income is falling, my demand will also start falling or decrease. Okay, so that basically here, now here when a person income increases, what happens that the person will start demanding more. This happens in the case of a normal commodity. Okay, this happens in the case of normal commodity. Next we have the negative income elasticity. Here what happens, the quantity you are demanding is decreasing because of the increase in income, and when you are your income is decreasing, you are increasing your quantity demanded. This is basically the opposite of the positive income elasticity. Okay, so when your income is increasing, you start to demand less. Okay, so when your income is increasing, you start to demand less, and when your income is decreasing, you start to demand more. Okay, this happens in the case of what? The inferior goods. Okay, then the last one is the zero income elasticity. What is it? When there is a change in income brings no change in the quantity demanded. In this, the quantity demanded is equal to nil. Okay, the quantity demanded is equal to nil. There is no change in your quantity demanded. So I'm going to stop here and would continue the next portion of this elasticity of demand in my next upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.